Hello and welcome to Testing Grounds. My name is JPEG, joined by Alias. How you doing, Alias?
I'm good. I'm excited. It's been a bit since I commentated Testing Grounds. I'm looking forward to commentating for the 15th installation of this wonderful, wonderful tournament.
Yes, 15th Testing Ground, and we have an interesting twist right now. We're going to be playing all zones. So we did a Twitter poll, and the players have decided that for this iteration of Testing Grounds, we're doing all zones. And again, if you're new to Testing Grounds, this is a nice laid-back tournament. 5 rounds of Swiss. So you're guaranteed 5 rounds. It's a great place to be testing out your compositions and just trying new stuff out. After the Swiss round, there's a top 8 to determine the winner.
Yeah. Yeah, not much more to say. We're about to jump into this first set. We have Nawal Gaming, which I'm fairly certain we're saying that right now, who we saw quite a bit of on Swimmer Sync this week, and they will be going up against Litterbox Zen Garden, which is... it's a name. I actually kind of like it.
Okay, to make a quick correction, we are doing 4 rounds of Swiss and top 4, so it should be a pretty short iteration of Testing Grounds. But back to the set we're about to watch, Litterbox Zen Garden. I actually saw a tweet from the player named Joke, who goes by Prin, I think. But they decided the name, and I love it. But We're also seeing Arissa, Pika, and Mudcup. These are familiar names, and I think most people should recognize them. Nawal Gaming, as you said, they played in Swimmer Sync on Wednesday night, so lots of familiar faces all around. Starting us off on Splat Zones, Sturgeon Shipyard. And I think this is a pretty solid start. I think this is a pretty difficult map to figure out in terms of like coordination with that zone raised up. It's kind of a weird mix. The zone's raised up, and you have very, very beneficial positioning for a backliner player. So, I'm personally a fan of this map. What do you think, Alias?
I also like this map for mostly just Splat Zones, and Rainmaker Tower Control is fine too, but Splat Zones is the only one that's actually going to matter right now, since this is an all Splat Zones tournament after all. I'm currently scrolling back through a conversation I had to see if I can find any information on Nawal's comp, because I know I was talking about it. I want to say that they don't have a traditional backliner. I think they might just run with the Nautilus. Or no, they have the Dynamo. They have a Dynamo roller.
And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Dynamos. I've been seeing quite a few recently, but looks like there isn't one right now, and actually they are going to run the ballpoint, so... in an age where backliners have become a little less common, it is kind of refreshing to see the ballpoint right there. But we see Litterbox Zen Garden not going to run a backliner. That is going to provide a paint advantage, but they're going to have to work around that ballpoint, which has way more range.
Yeah, opting to use that Blob Blubber as sort of a pseudo backline. They're currently the only player up as Nawal takes the lead. I want to say that Nawal is just running a fairly different comp. I know they brought the sloshing machine, but I'm not sure if the same players are the ones that have been using the weapons so far. But this is Testing Grounds, perfect opportunity to test out new things, just as the name would imply. And Nawal is currently testing the waters to see if they can just hold on to this zone for even longer, or if they're gonna have to face up against another threat from Litterbox Zen Garden. And currently, it looks like they're just hard pushing into their opponent's base right now.
Yeah, and I would say the ballpoint on the side of Nawal is really just kind of helping this out. I mean, once you have that zone locked in, the ballpoint can just sit right there and pick everyone from Litterbox Zen Garden. Look at them right there. And getting all those picks, and that's going to be a wipe with no penalty on the zone. I think this is game right now. Nawal's doing a pretty strong start, even if this isn't their usual comp, as you said.
Yeah, just looking very, very strong in that game 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is play all 3? Or...
I will await confirmation. Typically it is. Yes, it is. Okay.
But yeah, so Litterbox Zen Garden still has a few more opportunities to show what they got. But Nawal looking very, very strong. Definitely worthy of that. I think it was top 2 performances. I don't remember if they won or not. I think they actually won Swimmer Sync last week. So
Yes, they did.
Nawal just not missing a beat right out of the gate, taking game 1 on Surgeon Shipyard, even with the comp that might not be what they're used to.
Yeah, next up we're going to be seeing Humpback Pump Track. This map is notoriously, I'd say it requires a different playstyle. Most people are more negative about it. So what you want to do on this map is just paint the zone. Most people don't even go for picks. You just paint the zone, like use booyah bombs. It's notorious for that. But what I like about it is it actually makes you change up your playstyle. So it really tests out what capabilities the team has.
Yeah, it's definitely one that a lot of teams have to like come around to. It might not be your first map that you think of when you think, oh, I want to play Splat Zones on this map. But it's definitely a nice change of pace, and I could see both teams doing fairly well. Nawal just looking very strong, and I could see Litterbox Zengarden using this as an opportunity to sort of reevaluate and maybe attack it from a different angle.
Yeah, and I would add on, like, we see here, they're still not running a backliner. I think they might get the advantage here. This map just really requires tons of paint to finally cap that zone, and Nawal is opting for the heavy remix, which is a backline, but keep in mind it also has a Booyah Bomb, which is a notoriously strong special for this map. Litterbox Zengarden already popping 2 specials, but struggling to kind of keep that zone in check. Nawal finally popping that Inkjet and Booyah Bomb is going to not quite cap the zone yet. This is a pretty close start of this game.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking the Blob Blobber pick if they can figure out how to make good use of that. Just with the geometry of Humpback Pump Track, that could be a huge nuisance for Nawal to deal with. I also like that they're running the Blob Blobber Deco, which does have the Suction Bomb Rush, as opposed to Inkstorm like the other Blob Blobber has, and I think that one is just going to do well on this map specifically as far as capping zone. As we see Litterbox Zengarden taking the zone, but the Blob Blobber is the only one left alive right now, and they're just going to have to back off.
And you're saying they have to utilize that Blob Blobber well. I'm gonna say I would like to see the Blob kind of assisting the teammates more, going for more picks. I think that could really change the tide of this match. Nawal, my bad, about to take that lead, but I don't know if that's going to last very much longer. Litterbox Zengarden follows through with this push, but if they don't, Nawal Gaming is going to hold on to that zone, getting a lot of key picks.
Yeah, Chomper and I can't remember who the other player is on the Ken's machine, just pushing up really well. Aizen and Chomper just working as a very cohesive unit and making this map very hard for Litterbox Zengarden to deal with. It looked like they might have been able to jump out to a stronger start than they did last time, but Nawal just answering right back and already down inside single digits. A couple of specials come out, but that won't be enough as Nawal going to take game 2 as well. They've won the set, but since this is Play L3, we will be seeing Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy, which again, it's going to offer sort of another playstyle to evaluate here.
Oh, I would like to mention what I'm seeing from Nawal Gaming is once they have the zone, they are so good at holding on to it. I think what's helping that is their range advantage. And near the end of that game, I saw the heavy pushed up into Litterbox Zengarden's spawn. Which
Eraday was out there for a good portion of the game.
Yeah, most people who don't play heavy don't really understand how aggressive it can get. I mean, I personally main heavy, and I think it's a good like hybrid backline. So if you need a backliner, but it can also get kind of aggressive too. So I think it was a good pick on that map.
I want to say, I'm not entirely sure if Eraday is the team's standard backline, but either way, the heavy's going to play much different than the Dynamo, and that playstyle difference is honestly working out really well for Nawal here in round 1 of Testing Grounds.
Not to say Dynamo wouldn't be a bad pick. Typically, you do see Dynamo on Humpback. So I'm happy to see changes.
Yeah.
But let's move on to this next game. Yeah. Next game, Inkblot Art Academy. I would say this is kind of like the opposite of Sturgeon, where the zone's like sunk into the map. but otherwise they're almost pretty similar. But you do have that top portion in mid, which is I'm going to keep referring to the backline. It's key positioning for a backline, and I think Nawal can utilize that. I think Litterbox Zengarden should either change their comp or change up their playstyle to fight backliners a little better. I will say on this map, it is a little easier to flank a backliner, so maybe they can utilize those tools.
Yep. But either way, we're going to go ahead and get into Game 3. No significant changes. We're going to see Joke bring out the custom dually sculptures to sort of provide a little bit of extra range. I can't remember what they were on before. I think it was the Neo Splash-O-Matic. But Nawal just keeping the same comp, opting once again to go with that Heavy Splatling remix for the Booyah Bomb, as well as the Point Sensor, which could help a little bit in snuffing out these flanks. But already just a very fierce fight. Litterbox taking the zone early once again, but Aizen on the flank just going to push them right into Chomper, who I don't think is got a lot of room to work with. Will get a trade, however, but Airday on that Heavy Splatling remix is the only one left alive at the moment, and Litterbox Zengarden gets their first opportunity to push up.
I will mention here, I didn't even think about this. This is where a blob shines. You can see the blob lover shooting those bubbles up onto the ledge, going to provide a ton of pressure. Even if the bubbles aren't strictly damaging the opponent won't want to get near them. So, but as I say, there's great flanking opportunity this time. So you saw the heavy remix go around it and help their team get around to the zone.
Yeah, Litterbox Zengarden dropping a few of their other members, peaked on the blob staying alive, but some of the other players weren't able to be quite as fortunate, as now Nawal gets an opportunity to set up that remix on top of the platform in the zone right there and make it a little bit harder. Bomb Rush coming out from Litterbox Zengarden. That'll help mitigate it a little bit, and they actually do get the zone recap. But at this point, it's just become it's a more even fight in neutral at this point.
Yeah, this game's definitely a lot closer, and I will give partial credit to that, to this blob we're seeing here. Unlike that last game in humpback zones, I think blob is just a better advantage here at providing a lot of pressure.
Yeah, especially both with the ability to throw the bubbles down into the zone, as well as push up a ways and make it harder to actually get out of your own spawn area. Counter Booyah Bomb coming in from Nawal, going to allow them to maintain the zone. Blob Lobber finally going down as Chomper finds a pick, and Nawal about to take lead if they can hold on to zone for just a little bit longer. Mudcup jumping in to help take control of the zone a little bit more, but at this point only Joke's able to fend off the players, and as soon as they go down, Nawal right back on the lead. Took them a little bit of time to adapt to what exactly Inkling Art Academy would do to Litterbox Zengarden's playstyle, but right now they're looking dominant as ever.
And like I said, it's these anchor playstyles. You see this not in this heavy. They're just holding on to the zone, I say, as they lose the zone. But gonna see a jet get popped here, and a booyah, and a splashdown. Nawal kept those specials so they can recapture the zone swiftly, leaving Litterbox Zengarden with really nothing to counter with. However, they still have about 2 minutes left on the clock to regather the specials and make one final push.
Yeah, they do have arguably they did have it, but they do have arguably their best special at taking zone with the Suction Bomb Rush on that Blob Lobber. Booyah Bomb going to come out right now, Rissa immediately going to get punished right after, and the Booyah Bomb just not really helping all that much as nobody was able to capitalize on it. Joke going down yet again, Liam finding another pick, Bomb Rush being used to force their way out of spawn, as Liam...
Yeah. Very good jet shot.
This is a very nice shot from Liam, and that will assist in Nawal taking the set 3-0 over Litterbox Zengarden, and just looking very, very strong and very, very deserving of this week's Swimmer Sync title.
Yeah, they're keeping up on these results. Not to discredit Litterbox Zengarden, they were looking a lot stronger in that last game. And I hope they look back and kind of figure out what they need to improve on. Nawal, still a very formidable opponent. Won that last SOS, as you said. But that's going to be all for this round as we prep for round 2.
Yep. Yeah, not not really much more to say about that one. Just fairly cut and dry. Nawal looking very, very strong throughout. But yeah.
All right, but before we take a break while we prep round 2, do have a couple shout outs to make. Of course,
True.
from me at Play Low Ink. Low Ink.
I wonder what this one's going to be.
Low Ink begins tomorrow,
What?
1 p.m. EDT, but signups are closed. That doesn't mean you can't watch the stream tomorrow, though. So be sure to tune in tomorrow and Saturday if you're not participating or if you're banned from Low Ink. I encourage it. I would say low-level teams tend to play some very unusual comps. It's generally a pretty good time. So
Yeah.
check that out right here tomorrow.
If you want to see more like Blob Blubber and Dynamo and all that fun stuff, okay, probably going to see at least one of each on the stream.
Hey, it's pretty much guaranteed. Yeah, you see every weapon. But we do want to give one more shout out to Cloudburst, which is Endgame TV's next open entry event. So you can practice the 19 maps for the competition over the next 2 weeks and play in this one-day event on May 2nd. It offers a group stage to see how you fare against a variety of opponents and amateur brackets. So it's great for all skill levels. I encourage everyone to check it out, discord.io/endgametv.
Alright, that'll do it for now. We'll be right back in a couple minutes with round 2 of Testing Grounds. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Testing Grounds. Jumping right into round 2, Twisted Time versus Citrus. Alias, what's going on here?
I think you'd know better than I would, given that you're the low ink man. You got all the data, and these are two teams that I believe are signed up for low ink. Which, if you didn't catch the announcement before we went to break,
now hold on, I got this.
Yeah, JFX got to tell you all about it.
It's tomorrow. There you go. Yes, actually, Twisted Time is not, but we do see him.
Twisted Time isn't.
No, they aren't, but they typically are. So I will count this. Both these teams are, at least in the realm of low ink, very strong. Now, in the realm of all competitive Splatoon, well, it's low ink, so.
Yeah.
But I love them. I love both these teams. But we're going to start off on Splat Zone's new Albacore. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is all Splat Zone's iteration of Testing Grounds. So I hope you like Splat Zones. Let's get back to new Albacore. This is a pretty big map. So I would say you got to change up your comp. You need to get some range. So what's weird about Splat Zones is you need a lot of paint, but this map also needs a lot of range. So you got to balance both.
Yeah, it's definitely one where you're probably going to have to adapt your comp at least somewhat. It may be something as small as just like, oh, I'm going to switch to the NZAP instead of playing the Junior. But a lot of times I see teams usually switch up their comp at least somewhat to account for just needing that extra range, maybe a little bit of added mobility for getting off of the graded areas.
Speaking of range,
yeah, that's
the E-leaders.
Yeah,
I mean, that just goes to show. That just goes to show how much range you need when you're actually committing to the E-leader. But seeing Citrus already capping the zone, wow, we got to jump right into this game right now.
Yeah, Citrus already jumping out to a very early lead. Holt looking for a pick, just lining it up. Can't seem to find it yet. Not entirely sure why. But
that armor is not helping one bit.
Yeah.
Twisted Time finally getting that zone, 30 seconds in. So far, I'm hesitant to say back and forth, but I guess that is one way to say it. Citrus slowly but surely making pressure towards the zone, especially with that rain and that one pick on zone, gonna cap it and hopefully get their penalty up real quick. Not a lot of picks going around. A lot of these teams, both these teams are kind of playing it safe.
Yeah, it seems like both teams just content to sort of shadow box the other right now. Just get the paint on the ground and then worry about the picks later. Twisted Time finally recapping the zone as their NZAP's going to go on a flank, or at least just take control of this area, get a little bit more turf for painting for that armor.
I love that commitment. Like, they know what they're doing. You can tell they practice this. Oh, going down.
It seems like their sniper knows what they're doing too, though.
Yeah. 3 missiles right before the zone, and even though they get the cap, that is going to slow them down a bit. Going to get 1-2 picks. I would say missiles, really strong special, especially on this map and mode combo.
Yeah, especially since mobility tends to be a little bit more limited just with the area you have to work with and the grates. Definitely something that can be taken advantage of. Like, Kaiser on the retreat almost brought the missiles right back into the zone just because they didn't really have anywhere else to go with them.
And the missiles coming out once again alongside an Storm and an armor. That's going to allow Twisted Time to not only cap the zone, but even get a lot more map control beyond, which is going to stretch out their lead by a ton, especially about halfway through the clock. Oh, yeah. Wow, great shot by that sniper.
Yeah, Pope finally coming into their own with the sniper, going to get the zone for Citrus, and they now have to struggle with where exactly they can go as far as mobility. One thing that I'm worried about with Citrus is, outside of the K-Shot, their specials consist of 2 armors and an Ink Storm, and I'm not sure how effective that's going to be at getting the zone.
Oh, no. What is this fight?
I don't,
you don't have to do it to him like downstream, buddy. But yeah. Twisted Time gonna hold on to that zone, and right now I think in a situation like this, it's easier to defend. So I think they're content with just sticking around on zone, especially with about 2 minutes left. And they're really good at syncing up their specialists. They get them right on time.
Yeah, Hulk gonna go ahead and find another one, rocking just the E-liter 4K, whereas... Oh, damn. Delta with the double on the, Splat Bomb. You don't need much range on your specials if you have bomb output like that. Just Delta absolutely going off, now trying to be a nuisance up in Twisted Time spawn. Going to go down eventually. Citrus finally working their way through their penalty points, but Kaiser on those missiles definitely going to make it a little bit harder to deal with. Tries to find the pick on the... I think that's the NZAP, but I can't quite tell. NZAP eventually goes down. That's 2 down on the side of Citrus right now, and it's going to be harder for Citrus to defend this push now after the man disadvantage, and they will lose the zone. Citrus now having to deal with some added penalty points if they can recap the zone at all. Twisted Time just trying to hold off for this last minute of play.
And I liked what I was seeing with Citrus there. They kind of had a playstyle shift. They were keeping a hold of that zone for a good while, and not only staying on the zone to keep it, they were going into Twisted Time's spawn to ensure they won't even get close to the zone. But Twisted Time in the end ended up taking it. Well, I think we're going to see it again. Citrus is playing a lot more aggressive than what they were in the first half of this match. They're doing a great job. Yeah, they're just outplaying them with pure mechanical skill right now.
Yeah,
I
especially
think they have potential to win right now.
I think they could. I do worry about their ability to use the specials right now, but with the double armor, this could be an easy time to hold off. Especially since Lexi's going to get those missiles in just a very awkward spot for Twisted Time to deal with. Citrus only has to hold on for a little bit longer. They're going to get lead, and that will be the game for Citrus if it holds on. And Citrus snatching game 1 right out from under Twisted Time's nose. They're up 1-0.
And I will say this, studying these lower level teams, one of the best qualities of a team trying to get better in Splatoon is being able to adapt on the fly. What we saw there with Citrus is them kind of getting a feel for Twisted Time and changing their playstyle to earn that win.
Yeah, just doing a very, very good job at adapting. And yeah, just just looking very, very strong in the process.
I hope this sticks around throughout the set, and not to discredit Twisted Time, these guys have consistently been placing well in lower level tournaments, so I think later on in the set they could maybe figure out Citrus and change up their playstyle. It is a back and forth game, or mental game really.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go into Wahoo World Splat Zones. Another one where range definitely not going to hurt you, especially just being able to shoot across the zone. I'd expect that we're probably going to be seeing a Splatling just to take advantage of the crossfire, especially with teams rushing up pretty much just on the opposite side of the zone. Just being able to get a good consistent paint output and then also get picks in the process.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing the same comps. However, it doesn't hurt to change up. Looks like they are about the same, at least in terms of the E-leaders, which seems to be kind of an iconic pick, if I would say so. Kind of the defining pick of this set.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams sticking with their respective E-leaders. Dan on the E-leader 4K scope for Twisted Time. Citrus opting for just the plain E-leader 4K. As Citrus actually jumps out to a solid lead right off the bat. Dan getting a nice pick early, but won't effectively do much, as Citrus just managing to hold off Twisted Time's approach really well. As far as comp changes for the two teams, the only ones I'm seeing, Twisted Time opting to bring a Neo Splash-O-Matic instead of their K-Shot. Meanwhile, Citrus opting for the Kenza 52 Gal instead of their NZAP, going for a little bit more of an active special as far as taking control of the zone, which is definitely something that I would like to see from Citrus. But it doesn't look like they're going to need it right now, the Booyah Bomb not being used to neutralize the zone, because they already have very firm control over it.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is, like I said, Citrus kind of has Twisted Time figured out. They held their specials, and they're just now popping them to hold the zone, keep defending it. As they pushed up into Twisted Time spawn, that let them get the specials they needed to defend. they still are getting points. And Twisted Time is having trouble painting this zone. They started to kind of panic at the end. Citrus kind of they just took that game. That's it.
It was just a very dominant showing. I don't blame Twisted Time for panicking a bit at the end, especially since, like, what else are you gonna do? It's the end of the game, and you're about to get swept 100-0. I didn't realize that Citrus also working with the double armor comp, so they don't especially have a. They're only left with one active special outside of that Ink Storm to help neutralize the zone. Definitely something that I could see them changing in the future, but I'm not sure if they will, given that they seem pretty happy with the comp that they're working with. And especially just going into splat zones on Anchovy, I can't see them switching off the H3 to something else, just to better take advantage of that range that it has.
Yeah, and of course you can play whatever you want.
Of course.
I personally think you can play anything in this mode. It's really what works for your team.
Yeah.
So obviously double armor is working for Citrus. So maybe Twisted Time needs to switch it up to counter Citrus.
Well, Citrus actually didn't bring the double armor that last time.
Did they not?
They had
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Booyah, Tent Missiles, the Ink Storm, and then they kept the Splasher Jr. on the armor.
Okay.
But yeah, Twisted Time still sticking with that double armor comp. Citrus running it right back with the exact same comp that they were just working with. I don't think either team switched up their comp, actually.
And it works on this map.
Yeah,
this map is conceptually pretty similar to Wahoo World, so I'm not surprised neither of them switched. I would expect Twisted Time to maybe switch for a playstyle change. However, maybe they can pull something off without switching on top.
Yeah. One of the great things about Splatoon is you don't necessarily have to switch up your weapon to switch up your playstyle.
Yes.
It's like, with other games, like, I've been playing a fair amount of Valorant recently, and that one, whoever you take into the game is like, you're committed to that playstyle, and if you want a different playstyle, you have to just choose a different character. But here, Twisted Time showing that you don't have to change up your weapons and your comp to just really change up how you want to play. They're looking very effective right now, already almost getting it halfway down, and I think they will, as they just look very, very strong in this Game 3.
They were doing what Citrus did to them last game, except the only difference, and we're seeing the drawbacks of it right now, is they didn't actually push up enough to build up specials. So now Citrus got their specials, and they kind of retaliated. Even though Twisted Time still has the zone, I still think they were kind of playing a little more risky. Right now, they could be pushing up a little more here.
Yeah. Twisted Time definitely operating under a who needs specials when you're getting all the picks philosophy right now, as Citrus doesn't have much time left to cap the zone, and with only the E-leader in a good position, Twisted Time taking that one very effectively. Definitely something that I wasn't entirely expecting given how the last game played out, but Twisted Time showing that they have what it takes too. They're not going away without a fight. And even though they do get the set loss, it's definitely a good note to end on going into the next round.
Yes, I saw a lot of improvement throughout this set. And again, both these teams definitely adapting to each other, which is something we'd love to see. I look forward to seeing Citrus tomorrow in Low Ink.
It's at Play Low Ink, everyone.
By the way.
Follow JPEG. Just a shameless promotion right there. But yeah.
Alright, so I'm not sure when round 3 is starting. That was a pretty close set, so it shouldn't be too long. But until we get round 3 ready, we're going to take a break. And welcome back to round 3 out of the 4 Swiss rounds we'll be watching in Testing Grounds 15. And remember, this is an all zones testing ground if you're just joining. We're going to watch Mictlan Heroes versus Attrition. What do we know about these teams, Alias?
I distinctly remember seeing Mictlan around a few places, but outside of that, I could not tell you much about these teams. Unfortunately.
Well, no worries, because I don't know a lot either. I do recognize Mictlan. I recognize them. I don't quite know off the top of my head what they play. Attrition is a new name for me. I think I've seen a couple of those players, though. So, yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see what goes on in our first game, Snapper Canal.
Yeah, Snapper's not one that I'm used to seeing Splat Zones on, but it's a solid map for Splat Zones. I think it's definitely better for some of the other game modes, but I would be fine playing on Snapper Canal Splat Zones.
It's definitely not everyone's first choice. I do think it's a pretty bearable map, and I think it is an interesting spin in an all zones tourney. I like these maps that make you change up your playstyle. I think Snapper Canal Zones is a solid pick for that.
Yeah. Definitely one where you can kind of get a little bit more up close and personal than you're used to seeing on some of the other maps.
But yeah, not much more to say. We personally don't really know off the top of their heads what these teams are going to be playing, so we're going to have to wait and see what goes on here.
Who woke up and chose violence against Cloud9? I mean, we know that's Balloon, but yeah, C9 balls just coming out early here, going to go down into the Rapid Blaster right there as Mictlan Heroes starts the game out strong. And hey, look at that, we're finally seeing the Dynamo.
Yeah, we mentioned we probably see a lot of Dynamos early in terms. This is our first one in round 3. Still, you don't have to play Dynamo on zones, but there's the first one we see. Mictlan here is going to get a pretty strong start in this first minute of the game, going to get down to 50 points. That's going to be a really, really strong start. Attrition here, still putting up quite a fight. A lot of these specials going out with the Inkstorm and Bubble Blower, but nothing that can really hit the zone. So
yeah, the bubbles got neutralized like almost immediately, and Attrition just kind of struggling to find an answer here. It looks like they are going to neutralize the zone, but Mictlan just in a position to take it right back if they can get a pick or two. Cass in a very precarious situation right now as Attrition actually finally takes a lead in the zone, but still not enough to actually capture it. Booyah Bomb will find Cass, and Attrition does take the zone for the first time.
I'm seeing Attrition's comp can probably do a good job defending the zone. However, Mictlan is a very strong team. That's really all I need to say. So Attrition needs to be really at the top of their game to hold this zone, especially with this prime time no penalty kind of advantage they have. A lot of specials going out. Seeing Ink Armor on the side of Attrition. We saw a Bomb Rush on the side of Mictlan. And Booyah Bomb and Bubble Blower going to keep that zone on the side of Attrition. Barely edging out, not going to accept that penalty.
Yeah, Fear, again, just finding themselves in a really odd spot, going to have to jump out, as Mictlan somehow managed to take control of the zone. Fear didn't even have to jump all the way back to their own base, they just jumped to a nearby teammate. And suddenly, Mictlan's on the offensive again, just trying to find these players, get the necessary picks, and just maintain their lead in this game.
You've seen this Rapid here. I would say I'm starting to learn how to play Rapid, and I say what it's really good at is providing a lot of pressure. Look at that. That player is running away. That Dynamo can't really do anything to fight that Blaster. But Mictlan doing a good job holding onto this zone. The score is pretty even, but with that penalty going out of the equation, and now they're getting points. A Booyah Bomb and a Bomb Rush on the side of Attrition will recap that zone now.
Yeah, if anything, it's kind of hard to say it's even when it's like that, just because Attrition was under so much pressure, but good job keeping cool, just staying in the game, in the zone, just managing to recap, apply a little bit more penalty points. You don't have to hold on to the zone for that long, you can sort of regroup now that you know you have a little bit more of a buffer to work with as opposed to just the 15 ticks that they had before. But Mictlan trying to make sure that they don't give up the zone at all, just trying to push it down even further. Down very low on penalty time, but zone does get neutralized. Bubbles coming in from Attrition as the NZAP goes down. Mictlan taking the zone right back, and this could be very problematic for Attrition. Now they don't have any penalty points left, as Mictlan trying to clean up the zone really quick with that pick on Kobeth. Mictlan will take game 1 of round 3.
They did a really good job at the end of that game. They kind of held on to their specials at the right time, so when Attrition tried to make that last push, Mictlan had the power to back it up and keep that zone. So, despite that being pretty close score in the middle of the game, Mictlan kind of edged out and just simply played better at the end by holding on to the specials. They were very smart about that.
Yeah, just doing a very good job knowing when to use what, and yeah, solid job from Mictlan.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Mictlan's been playing together for a while. They're really good at coordinating.
Yeah, they
did
look extremely cohesive.
Yeah, we'll see how that continues in the next game on Dance with Marie. Yeah. This is a pretty different map. 2 zones, lots of high ground.
Is this the first 2 zones that we've seen?
I believe so, yeah. Actually.
Yeah, because I don't think we've seen Pit yet, and that's the other like main 2-zone map. But
and then Blackbelly's actually after that, so
yeah.
But I do kind of expect a comp shift. Personally, I play Splatling, and I love it on this map because all of that high ground on the grates, no one can really touch you. So you got to see what both these teams kind of bring out for these different types of maps.
Yep. Either way, I would expect both teams to just sort of stick with what they're comfortable with. Mictlan probably, if they don't have like a special comp for splat zones on Manta that they're already familiar with, I could see them just sticking with what they've been using for a while. It seemed to work out very well. I could also see the Dynamo being used sort of to maybe counter the Splatling on the grates, but I'm not entirely sure about how well that would work. Just because of how good the grates are for Splatlings, it's just a really hard position to deal with. But either way, both teams gonna have to find an answer. Attrition trying to take the set win. Mictlan trying to make sure that they don't have to play a set deciding game 3, as opposed to just one where they can just chill on Blackbelly.
Yeah, even if this is play all 3, you definitely want to try to win the set and get higher Swiss ranking, especially with this top 4 Swiss. We're not having a pretty low sign-up count, so that's going to make the competition even more fierce. Yep. See, Mictlan's still running that Rapid Blaster. I was about to mention that on the map screen. Rapid could make great pressure on the grates, and we're seeing already the Torpedo and the Blast Radius are already going to get these Tetras off. Speaking of which, I think these are light Tetras. Yes, Sprinkler Autobomb. I was talking to someone last night about light Tetras. I mean, I think it's an interesting pick. It's just... I mean, I'm not going to hate on someone for playing a weapon they want, but, I mean, like, Dark Tetris is better in general. But I'm still interested. I want to see what they got here, what they're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, Kobeth, seemingly just favoring these more mobile dualies. They were on the CDS last time, and now favoring the light Tetris. I could really see the Sprinkler being used to just placing it on the master rate. There could be a big hassle for Mictlan, but so far they haven't had to deal with that yet, as they're already jumping out to another lead. Ink Armor coming out from Cass, who's I want to say they were on the Splattershot Junior last time, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, same effective goal. Kobeth finding another pick, but their special's going to get canceled right there if they're in it. C9 Balls just getting a solid pick as Attrition finally takes control of the zone. Just trying to trying to work their way back into this. I think that Suction Bomb did take out a player though. So Attrition down 2 for the time being, and Mictlan going to try and take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm noticing Mictlan's really good at winning these 1v1s. So when you see Attrition try to push up and get more map control, Mictlan just kind of takes him out and gets the zone back. So I think Attrition's going to need to get a little more creative in how they need to secure that zone.
Yeah. They're also doing a really good job at neutralizing that Dynamo. I was worried that that could be a bit of a hassle for them, but I haven't seen the Dynamo do much all game. Just sort of on the back foot right now. Suction Bomb Rush coming out from, I think that was Lex, but just doing a very good job. As Mictlan starting to push up again, Booyah Bomb going to get neutralized, and the Dynamo going down once again, along with all of the rest of the members of their team. Mictlan looking very strong in Game 2.
Yeah, and you saw right before Attrition made that last push, Mictlan actually had 3 specials ready. So like I said before, Mictlan knows what they're doing. They held on to their specials for the right time, and now they might be able to win this game if Attrition doesn't cap. Wow, this is actually really close.
Yeah.
Attrition definitely wants to hit that zone, and now they have that nice penalty. Plenty of time to recuperate.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how Balloon managed to stay alive right there, but especially with the pick on Lao, that almost was game for Mictlan, but thanks in good portion to Balloon staying alive, Attrition able to fight their way right back into this. They have control of the zone, and Mictlan with a significant amount of penalty points, but if Attrition can't take advantage of this, this could be problematic. Dynamo in an odd spot right now, and the Booyah Bomb just going to have to be used to get a little bit of time, but Mictlan getting all the jumps in, and Attrition now on the back foot yet again as Mictlan works through their penalty time.
And that was a delayed wipe. That's going to put Attrition back quite a ways. Especially with this ballpoint in their bunker, going to provide lots of range, lots of picking power.
Yep.
Going to see multiple specials yet again. Mictlan keeps their specials, and they use them right as Attrition tries to push in. However, they've used them all up with just a little more penalty remaining. Maybe you see Kobeth here going to neutralize the zone, get Mictlan a little distracted, and maybe the rest of Attrition can come in and gain the zones, but not quite. I love the idea. Execution wasn't quite there.
I feel like that's one position where the light touchers might not be the weapon that you'd want to have available, especially since you only have the sprinkler to work with and the auto bomb launcher taking a little bit more time to set up than some of the other specials. Like, even if you had the dark touchers, then that's a splashdown that you could have used. But either way, Mictlan Heroes taking game 2, so that will be the set win going in their favor. Attrition still looking fairly good. I'm excited to see what they're going to do on Black Belly, given just how competitive that last match was. It never seemed like Attrition was really all the way out of it, but Mictlan just doing a very good job of trying to keep them as out of it as possible.
Yeah, both teams are playing very well. It's just Mictlan's just kind of edging out and securing the zone for a little longer, really. I think Mictlan's really good at holding the zone. So if Attrition can maybe work around that trait that Mictlan has, maybe they could edge a win. Especially on zones, Black Belly, it's pretty difficult to hold onto the zone, especially with them so spread apart.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that on Black Belly, if you sneeze the wrong way, the zone is gonna flip in your favor. This is one of those maps where it feels like one special is really all you need to take care of the zone, and it's also really hard to navigate between both zones. I'm not especially a fan of Black Belly as far as mobility goes. Part of that is just me as a Dualies player not really vibing with the ramps and whatnot. It feels kind of claustrophobic. Definitely a map where close range players can really take advantage and make use of just levels geometry. And speaking of which, on Splat Zones, we are going to see the massive tower in the center, which is not something that we're used to seeing, given that Black Belly's pretty much only used for Rainmaker. But on Splat Zones, the tower still is in the center, so taking control of that tower could be a big boon for either of these teams.
Yeah, and we saw that kind of in the last game where the 12 point was on top, on the grates or in the bunker, providing a lot of cover fire for the team. On the side of Mictlan.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it looked like the Dynamo was having trouble doing that in return. But this is one where it feels like the Dynamo might have a little bit easier of a time, as we're actually not going to see a Splat link coming out from Mictlan Heroes going with a very close range comp. Instead, Lao is going to be on the custom Explosher. Meanwhile, we're going to be seeing Tri-Slashers from both teams just or not Tri-Slashes from both teams, only a Tri-Slash from Attrition, opting for a double armor comp in addition to the Booyah Bomb and Section Bomb Rush coming out. Meanwhile, on the side of Mictlan, we have, I can never remember what the Vanilla or Hero Slasher's special is, but they're going to have a Suction Bomb Rush, they're going to have, I want to say Bubbles on the Custom Splasher, but I'm not entirely sure, as well as the Armor on the Splattershot Junior to work with.
My personal favorite, I would say, is that Explosion on the side of Mictlan. On this map, where it's especially hard to get around these zones, having a projectile that paints a ton and is able to be lobbed over walls is just kind of genius. I typically don't play Explosion on this map person, so I'm very interested to see what they do here. And what they're doing is great. I mean, they're down to 30 in the first minute of the game.
Yeah. I always find it funny that this is like a very random tangent as Mictlan looks to just clean up this game as the zone gets neutralized. But I always find it funny that the Cosmic Splasher is like really good in Salmon Run because it can just take out the flyfish like without a bomb.
Yeah, it has tons of AoE, so it's a great supportive tool. So if the teammates can play around that Splasher, I think it's just going to make 1v1s a heck of a lot easier.
Meanwhile, Attrition's starting to find a way to play around this Explosion in the other sense, as they did manage to take control of the zone and hit Mictlan with a pretty hefty penalty, but Mictlan just already right back into it, and Attrition only getting down to 92 points.
But Mictlan kind of retaliated pretty quickly. They're doing a great job just keeping the zones, and that Splasher, the Junior, the Slosher, it's just an equation for keeping the zone on Blackberry skate park.
Yeah.
But
another thing that I'm really liking from the Custom Splasher is using it to take out the players on the tower on the side of Attrition. Lao did end up going down to that Booyah Bomb, but Mictlan able to just hold onto the zone for even longer, fighting through these penalty points. It looks like they're in a very good position to deal with Attrition's approach if Lex can wrap around to the other side, get back towards the zone right now. Kobeth popping that Suction Bomb Rush, but the missiles just landing them in an odd position. Attrition going to capture one of the zones, fighting for that second one. They have, I think, all 4 players focusing on that. They will get it, so Mictlan getting hit with even more penalty. Kobeth trying to find this pick on, I can't tell who that is, on Fear on the Hero Slosher replica, but he won't, and Mictlan will take the zone right back, looking very strong, with 3 specials at the ready.
And that's something I keep saying, but they're so good at just keeping their specials. I mean, at this point, with 20 left on the penalty, 10 points remaining, 3 specials, Mictlan's pretty much locked in. Attrition's going to have a miracle to win this game.
Yeah, they ended up popping all 4 specials back to back to back to back. I forgot that the Custom Explosion is the baller instead of the bubbles. So that's definitely something that could help a lot. Attrition finding the zone cap yet again, but at this point, it feels like they don't have enough to manage to take the lead back. And if they lose the zone one more time, it could be really hard to actually find the lead with just how much of a deficit they're at.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend. Like, Attrition's good at getting a zone, but as soon as they cap one, the other one just goes away immediately. Mictlan's just kind of on top of that, and I kind of predicted this would happen, where it's so easy to cap the zone that it's hard to keep both.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing that here.
I feel like part of that is just Blackbelly being Blackbelly, as Cass finds a very nice pick on the Dynamo after they get out of Booyah Bomb. Couple more trades coming out, Mictlan finding another couple of picks, and Attrition just not in a good position to respond. Lao trying to find another pick with his Custom Explosion, going to, at the very least, contribute towards another kill. And Lao using the Custom Explosion's range just to survey the map, just get some info for their team, as well as just be a nuisance on the side of Mictlan. Attrition does get control of the zones. Lao is still up, and at this point, it could be hard for Attrition to find their way out. Baller going to get popped, And Mictlan finds both of the zones. The ball actually getting knocked back down into the zone might have contributed to that, but Mictlan taking it 3-0 over Attrition in round 3.
Well, both played very well, though. Mictlan just simply keeping that zone a little longer. They did a great job playing around that objective. They were very smart about when to cap the zone and when to defend. Because I think in that latter half of the game, they weren't even worried about capping. They had enough of a lead. So they were just defending more or less. But Attrition, I still kind of saw them changing up their playstyle a little bit. And I feel like if they had a little more time, maybe they could edge out a win. But however, this is only a play all 3 sets, so we couldn't see that possibility.
Alright. Yeah, we're going to take a very quick break right now. Round 4 is going to be coming up very, very shortly. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Testing Grounds. On to round 6 of Swiss, which will be our last round before we start top 4. Yes, 4 top cut.
You can go ahead.
What?
Yep.
Go on.
I was just gonna say we're watching 5 AM Squad versus DDAWG. JPEG, do you know anything about these teams?
I recognize some people on DDAWG. Not so familiar with 5 AM Squad though.
I like the name, big mood. I been waking up at 5 for a couple days now. Oh god.
Oh yeah. Nope, that's my reaction too.
Oh.
Okay. Good news. Play all 3. We're ending on a higher note. However, Humpback and Camp, little more controversial.
Kraken.
I personally think.
Yeah, no, Kraken. We're gonna square up right now. We're gonna square up right now.
Okay, Humpback. We've seen this. We've seen this in round 1. A Humpback is just a paint the zone map. It's a little harder to get picks, and it's very special reliant. Camp requires all the teamwork in the world. It is probably the most demanding for teamwork. So, 2 notorious maps. Splatoon's Mako, go. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everyone loves it. Yeah, no, everyone loves Splatoon.
That's a solid one. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see Splatoons on Gobi Arena, given that it is one of the maps in this week's Low Ink. JPEG, you wanna give us a play Low Ink?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Low Ink is tomorrow. There you go. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, yeah, this is testing grounds. You can test stuff out. So,
true.
Maybe this is their normal comp.
Triggerfish apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe this is their normal comp, but this is something a little more unorthodox. Seeing an Explosher and an Eleator on this map. Everything else pretty normal. Soda Slosher. I get why they pick it. I typically just don't see it. That's why I'm commenting on it.
Yeah. Just some fairly unique comps coming out. We already saw Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track a little bit earlier tonight. So, teams might have been able to evaluate what worked from the last round, what didn't. 5 AM Squad looking like they know what they're doing, but right as I say that, their custom Explosion is going to go down to a Splat Bomb. As DDAWG now taking control of the zone, they're going to go ahead and take lead changes very rapidly in the early stages of this game. But DDAWG trying to hold on for as long as possible, using this Splash Shot Junior to get the paint down. Range Blaster, definitely, or is that a Range Blaster or just a regular blaster? I think that might just be a regular.
I think it's regular.
Yeah, I can never tell. I'm very excited that they're changing up how some of the weapons look in Splatoon 3, just as far as like making them distinct. I know the 96 Gal's getting a change. I can't remember. I think the Range Blaster might also be getting a change as well. It's got the big opening now. But speaking of big opening, DDAWG presented with a fairly big opening as quite a few players on 5 AM Squad go down. DDAWG looking for the win right now, but they're going to get, I think, a wipe or close to one. As 5 AM Squad able to take control of the zone yet again. DDAWG now with 66 points of penalty that they'll have to work with if they can retake the zone. 5 AM Squad just barely getting through their penalty now.
Yeah, we saw a pretty even game at the beginning of this match, but now it's looking to be more in DDAWG's favor as they were able to secure the zone a little longer. However, both these teams seem to be proving themselves to be pretty evenly matched. So, in the spirit of zones, I do expect 5 AM Squad to bring the score back down to where DDAWG is keeping it.
Yep.
But 5 AM Squad doing a good job, just pushing up, kind of keeping all corners of the map painted. Although, I will comment on the fact that they are kind of staying separated, so I think they're singling themselves out. Like this Range Blaster here doesn't have enough paint under his feet. Maybe if another team that was around it could have won that 1v1.
Yeah,
But
well,
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, Walker Chain just finding themselves in a bit of an odd spot right there, under fire from the Custom Explosion. 5am squad trying to keep the zone under control right there. Walker Chain actually going to go down. Mango Chan going to avenge the fallen comrade as DDAWG takes control of the zone yet again. 5am squad now with a bit of penalty that they're going to have to work with on top of this already sizable lead that they did a very good job of neutralizing right off the bat. That is the Range Blaster. Range Blaster finding a nice kick on the on one of DDAWG's members. As at this point, it's just turning into a massive fight over the center. Both teams just trading back and forth. Zone not really staying in one team's favor. 5am squad just trying to work with what they have. Same thing with DDAWG, just trying to gain some sort of advantage that they can work with. DDAWG presented with a nice opportunity now that 2 of the members of 5am squad are down, but again, it's Humpback. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I'm noticing DDAWG doesn't really want to push up as much as 5am squad did, and maybe they can use that to their benefit. However, I do think that would make 5am squad it'd give 5am squad more of an advantage to cap this zone. They had a lot of specials go out. Hopefully they can cap in time, and they do. And the Rain going to take out 2 of DDAWG's opponents. And hopefully this blaster can't quite get it, and it's going to make it pretty evenly matched. Maybe DDAWG can take this zone back. There is a junior on zone. Not quite. 5am squad is going to slowly but surely get that map control back. And going to provide lots of pressure as DDAWG pops the armor, going to swiftly capture that zone. I don't think it will last very long unless DDAWG can get these crucial picks. They're doing quite a good job quickly getting this. Wow, what a way to use your bomb rush, but they're quickly getting that zone back.
Yeah, that looks like something that you do, like the end of a salmon run game as opposed to the end of a Humpback spot zones game. But either way, DDAWG managing to hold on for those last 5 seconds or so. They will take game 1, and now it's time.
It's time. I'm actually quite excited. As negative as I sounded at the beginning, I love this map mode.
I don't, but I'm excited to see how these teams handle it.
It's fun to watch. It's very fun to watch. I'll give you
that. It is fun to watch. I'm always a fan of maps that force you to switch up your playstyle a bit. Triggerfish feels like a map mode combo where you have to switch up just a little bit more than your playstyle. I feel like you kind of just have to switch up your way of approaching it in general, but still, I'm excited to see how both these teams can handle it.
Yeah, I think every competitive team has like a camp zones comp. At least mine did. Back when I played, we had the camp zones comp. So, maybe I'm the only one, but I think most teams will just totally change up the play style because you have to. You can't play this map more normally.
Yeah, especially just. I think my biggest thing is that there's no good way of getting across it, so you have to find a way to play across the river as opposed to, oh yeah, we can send some players to go, we can. It doesn't feel like a map where you can organize by like a team. It feels like you have to sort of break off and handle multiple different things as opposed to just staying together, which makes it just a little bit harder to organize as a team, but still definitely going to emphasize communication.
Yeah, communication is key, especially if you're split off. You kind of have to stay focused and make sure you're calling out to a specific teammate. I like to think of this map mode as like there's 2 games of Splatoon going on.
Yeah.
They're 2v2s.
Yeah, but I was about to say, I wasn't sure if that's how other people think, just because I'm still getting accustomed to competitive Splatoon, but I always see this as like, okay, this is just 2 doubles games, as opposed to like a squad game.
Maybe we should just mute each other and just commentate each side of the map. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that'd be awful.
I'll go join the I'll join the room. No. Keep an eye on the other set. But yeah, either way, we're gonna go ahead and jump into game 2, last round of Swiss. 5am squad looking to take the set so that they can just kind of coast through the rest of the Swiss bracket. DDAWG trying to fight their way in, already seeing the 2v2 mindset DDAWG sending 2 of their players on the side leading to their opponent's side zone, whereas another 2 going to just try and take care of their own zone. And it looks like that's working out really well for them. DDAWG already getting both the zones covered and just trying to find a very crafty pick right there. Not going to work. Double torpedo coming out. I didn't realize that 5am squad was playing with 2 Kansas Splattershot pros and 0 armor.
Yeah, and I want to comment on that, because what we're seeing here is on the side of 5am squad, they have tons of paint, but DDAWG is actually getting the key picks to not let 5am squad utilize those tools. So if they can keep that up for the rest of this game, they can win. But right now, if it starts to get a little out of control, like maybe it is now, I think 5am squad could just outpaint them for this whole game. We're seeing 2 extreme spectrums of comps between paint and picking power.
Yeah, I feel like you said, 5am squad trying to run with their Triggerfish zones comp. Meanwhile, DDAWG more just adapting what they normally do. You can still like see the essence of the various roles, with the Firefin scope acting as like a backline, Duck on the K-Pro acting as more of a midline, and the Soda Slosher and the Splattershot Jr. acting as sort of like de facto skirmisher slayer types. Meanwhile, 5am squad just sort of content to rush, again, using the custom Explosher as their backline of sorts, having that range blaster to shoot across the zone, but the 2 Kansas Splattershot Juniors might have a hard time actually playing across the river, and DDAWG's really taking advantage of that right now.
Yeah, DDAWG's, as I said, they're getting the picks they need, so 5am squad won't be able to paint the zones. And I think a key factor in that is the range they have. You can see this K-Pro right here is able to reach the juniors on the other side of the map.
It's a really unfortunate bomb.
That's just going to provide enough paint to not only counter the zone, but also pick those juniors and help out the teammates on the other side of the game. Like I said earlier, this map's normally like 2 games going on at once, but DDAWG's doing a great job keeping all of their members focused on getting the picks they need. They're doing a really good job on this map.
Yeah, and they're being rewarded for it right now as 5am squad not in a good position to defend it, and DDAWG taking that game very, very quickly, just taking advantage of their comp as opposed to 5am squad's take on the Triggerfish zones comp, and they're going to take the set win.
Yeah, I think 5am squad, I saw their comp and I saw a lot of potential in it. But maybe if they just had a little more pressure to get the picks. And I'll admit, DDAWG had a pretty unorthodox comp. I wasn't expecting that much picking power. I was expecting all paints. That's generally what you see. Yeah. So maybe they weren't anticipating that.
I feel like 5am's comp would have worked out a lot better if they could have established themselves right off the bat, but Triggerfish sort of working against that for them. Not really letting them get established, and it kind of just turned into 5am squad just scattering and just not really being able to it sort of punished them for not being as cohesive as DDAWG was.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty nasty lockouts on camp zones. So if they played faster at the start, maybe that whole game would have been totally different. Yeah. But that set's passed, or that game's passed. Moving on to Splat Zones Mako Mart. Finally, a fresh of breath air, a little bit more normal Splat Zones.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see this map for a bit. This is my personal favorite map in the game. Just a really good map for everything, but Splat Zone's one of the more common game modes that you'll see. I don't think it's being used for this low ink, but it's definitely been a mainstay for others for just a very good Splat Zones map. A little bit shorter than some of the other maps, but there are still plenty of positions where the backlines and midlines can set up a very good position to work with.
I think what people like about this map is that it's very fast. It's got a pretty good layout. There's lots of options. It's a good mix for competitive Splatoon. It's what people want out of this game. And I think this was voted number 1 in something. I think it was the Plus Series map or something. I have no idea. But people like this map, so you know, everyone's looking forward to this map mode. And it's a good way to end this Swiss round as we move on to top 4 next round. A lot of teams on the line here. A lot of teams want to make that top 4, so now is the chance to prove themselves.
Yep. So, we're going to go ahead and get into Game 3. Not too much of a comp change on the side of DDAWG. Still rocking that Soda Slosher sniper. This time bringing out the E-Leader. Still have the Splattershot Junior. This time, however, bringing out a Tri-Slosher instead, so they're going to have that double armor comp. But just Tri-Slosher is a very good weapon for this mode in general. But 5am squad getting out to what looked like it could have been a hot start, but DDAWG finding the picks. All 4 members of 5am squad going down. That will be the Kansas Splattershot Jr. staying out, as well as the Cosmic Splosh yet again, as well as a Carbon Deco and a K-Shot. A very strong comp in its own right, and one that I could definitely see working well in Mako Mark. But DDAWG not going to let them try it out for the first bit, as they're starting their own very nasty lockout right now.
And what stands out to me is 5am squad opting for the Carbon Roller, which I've seen work on this map very well, but you need a lot of paint to back up that Carbon. If you can provide the paint, like they are now, I think Carbon's super deadly. And I see the Splasher, which I typically don't see on this map, but I am interested to see what they do with it, considering the Splasher has tons of painting power.
Yeah.
Bubbles on the zone, maybe going to slow down DDAWG. However, they seem to just be strong on by without a worry, and going to maybe contest and maybe cap the zone. But no, 5am squad's gonna hold on to it. No penalty, no worries. They're doing a pretty good job. They had a pretty nasty lockout at the start, so good on them for retaliating.
Yeah, and the pick by the E-Leader definitely going to contribute to that. It looked like 5am squad wanted to push up a little bit further, but the E-Leader just said, no, I'm just going to shoot you dead where you jump. And DDAWG starting their own lockout again, trying to find the necessary picks. We do see a trade going down. 2 players down on each side, but that E-Leader definitely going to be able to make a difference picking off players that are trying to enter the zone again. Pushing up a little bit further than I would like to see, especially with how good of a short-range game 5am squad's working with. And as I say that, DDAWG going to be pushing through their penalty points, 1 down on each side. Another player goes down at some point, and bubbles being popped will give 5am control of the zone, but still having to deal with this problem of not having enough players on the field.
Yeah, good on the Soda Slosher for holding that zone.
Good.
They were definitely at the disadvantage, but they did a great job handling that 2v1 scenario they're kind of in. DDAWG gonna hold on to that zone. Not much of a penalty, not as much as you'd think. And they're going straight into their spawn with all specials going off. The Ink Armor and Burst Bomb Launcher, I think that will... I didn't want to say lock in, but they're looking pretty unlikely to cap that zone.
Yeah, just the K-Shot left, and that's not going to be able to do it. The Kansas Splattershot Junior not going to be able to get there in time, and DDAWG taking the set 3-0, showing that they just know what they're doing. They know how Splat Zones works, taking 3 maps with very different playstyles associated with them, and just looking very strong as they finish out Swiss.
Yeah, they've been in the lab studying up Splat Zones. They had this figured out, and that's really impressive to see a 0-3 set here on such different maps. So good on DDAWG for knowing exactly what they need to do to win. And that's going to finish up Swiss. We only have 4 rounds, a little bit lower sign-up count, but that's just going to make it even more competitive in the end. Top 4 coming up next. Before we sign off, we have some plugs to make. So we would like to mention Inkling Performance Labs has staff apps. If you want to help out with Inkling Performance Labs, we're always looking for additions to our production, commentary teams, tournament staff. If you're interested, go to iplabs.inc/help us. I think the link's going in chat. There it is. Next up, Low Ink begins tomorrow. 1 p.m. EDT, but not so fast. Signups are actually closed, so we have more time to verify the teams. But be sure to be watching the stream right here tomorrow, 1 p.m. EDT. Low-level Splatoon. I'm a little biased, but super underrated. You see so many interesting comps, so many interesting teams you've never seen before, and it's a great time.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. It's definitely a fun time to watch. I've definitely enjoyed watching Loink as well as just the rest of IPL's amazing tournaments. Just very, very fun to watch. Very underrated.
All right, one more quick shout out before we're gone. Cloudburst is Endgame TV's next open entry event. There will be a 19 map pool. So it'll be a one-day event on May 2nd, offering a group stage to see how you fare against a variety of opponents in amateur brackets. This is a great event for all skill levels. Do not be intimidated. Sign up for Cloudburst. It'll be great practice. Very focused map list. If you want to grind on that. That's all for us, Alias. Go ahead and introduce yourself to this community. Get your name out there.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Alias. I do the funny talking. I'm on Twitter. It's at alias_handle. I never use it, but if you're so inclined to follow, you can follow me there. Outside of that, I'm just all over the place. I do commentary here, off the dial, some other places. But yeah, chances are, if you're in a Splatoon server, there's a solid chance that I'm there too.
All right, and I'm JPEG. You know who I am. That's all from us. See you in Top Cut.
Welcome back to Testing Grounds 15. We are now going to be going into the top cut stage of Testing Grounds. I'm Bankid, and in the commentator booth with me tonight will be Fern. How are you doing tonight, Fern?
Doing pretty great. It's just the sun is almost settling here, but I would say that Testing Grounds is always a new light when it comes to entertainment. So I'm pretty happy to be on the mic with you today, Banana Kid, and I'm very excited to see all these 4 teams fight for the first, second, third, and fourth place of Testing Grounds number 15.
Yes, and something else to note is if you are currently just joining us in right now, this will be a special edition of Testing Grounds, as all modes will be splat zones for this Testing Grounds. So it's a very special one, but up on this round 1, best of 5, top cut match, we'll be seeing You Can't See in the Dark versus Walmart Radiance. Looking at these rosters, what do you really see from them, or something that you would like to?
Keen, Miku, and Leafy definitely are the ones that I'm more expecting a good performance. I've seen them play quite a lot of times. Jimmy, don't know if the Jimmy that ones that I'm thinking, but if it is, love his bamboo and charging skills. If it's not, at least I'm gonna be still happy to see you. If not the Jimmy that I'm thinking of, it's pretty hard to keep track of so many people. Have you ever seen the many people that have silver on their names? Amazing. But yeah, those are the people that I know, apparently.
Yeah, I believe there's also someone else in Jimmy that plays Brella, but I mean, we'll be seeing it very shortly on Starfish main stage. We will, in fact, not be seeing Brella. I don't even think we'll be seeing a charter from them at all. But, yeah, we will be seeing Brella coming out from King, from the side of You Can't See in the Dark, though. And Jimmy will be pulling out the Kigow. And something to note there is that 3 people on the side of Walmart Radiance actually have last-ditch effort, which is something that you don't really see being pulled out besides the Junior, which is really interesting for their build, because there's nothing that really useful for that. But I mean, you know, it's Splat Zone, so you could get that last-ditch effort and affected in the first few minutes. So I mean, it's really up to your playstyle.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right here, we've seen the Brella getting the charger away from the snipe, pushing pretty harsh already. You can't see in the dark. I'm expecting that the positioning from them is going to be focusing mostly on, like, after getting the zone, getting the amount of pressure, and just like setting up mines, getting the first amount of kills, and already everyone's already positioned so they cannot come back in zone quite safely, and that's going to activate the last-ditch effort.
Yeah, Leafy was actually going to be trying that to approach that Realmo, which is something that isn't really a smart idea. And then just then they try to take out the scope, which they do, but then the Crapid shortly follows them through and gets the revenge. Looks like You Can't See in the Dark is approaching 16, and we'll take back the zone right here. They're so close to knocking it out, and Walmart Radiance is just trying to stay in, and they are bringing You Can't See in the Dark down to a 67 penalty with their 12 progress.
67 penalties indeed. Oh, the guy got flanked by the junior on the back. That's not something you want to see. The junior getting the most picks, but once again, just can't see in the dark. Managed to get from the 100 to 12. They can easily do it again once or twice more, and basically seem to be knocking out the game. It seems that that last ditch knocking out on the junior is gonna be pretty much something to very hardly deal with it, because like it's just spamming bombs at this point and holding the armor once they just drop from above.
Yeah, and then another tactic that the junior will probably be using soon whenever Walmart Radius tries to be pushing up here is using no, I mean they didn't just then, but you can throw two splat bombs if you have enough sub saber, and then immediately refill your tank with armor and then throw another 2 in, which they didn't just then, but that would have been a really good way to try and counter the opposing team when they try pushing up. Jamie's able to take out the junior from the side of You Can't See in the Dark, though. Pops a bomb and is probably going to be able to take the zone here, with only the 10 being up on the side of You Can't See in the Dark, which is not the weapon you want to be having the only one up, especially on the spot zones.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that. Third time Walmart takes the zone the entire match right here. It seems that now they are being a little bit more smart, watching for the flanks, but the armor from the Brella is gonna be a very hard fight for the 52 against the Brella indeed. And for the third time, Can't See the Dark takes control of the zone, and with 20 points remaining on the penalty, this looks like it could be the last time we managed to see Walmart having control of the zone. With 3 people right now, they're just bomb rushing and the junior is popping the armor. They're trying to keep them away from the zone. Booyah Bomb coming in clutch. Will be able to get the zone right here. It does neutralize it, but will be able to cap it and apply the penalty. It doesn't. It goes back to being capped. Everyone, it's a 2v1 happening in the zone, and whoa, Commentators curse.
Right there, it's just like deja vu from what we just saw over there. The 10 was the only one up from You Can't See in the Dark, which just then when you only have 3 remaining left, until you knock out, is not the thing you want to be having on situation, especially for Walmart Radiance, because they're here and they definitely do not want to try and lose this game one at all. But it looks like that'll actually lead to a wipe. Shadow win with the tent right now, just putting mines, trying to back up and try and play more of the defense on the group. Which, I mean, with tent you really got to pick your battles, because I mean yes, you do have that one shot whenever close up, but it's pretty hard to pull it off, and that'll actually be a wipeout KO from the side of You Can't See in the Dark for this game 1.
Damn, poor 10 had to die to get splattered like that by a bomb. They barely managed to see it. That's unfortunate, but they still won. I would say that what I'm seeing from Walmart Radiance, they managed to get the zone, but they can't hold the pressure from You Can't See in the Dark. So they like just hold it for a few points, and that's about it. I think don't want to be like kind of pointing fingers to anything, but like something needs to be done when it comes to like manage to actually control objective. Like definitely dealing with the Brellas is something that Walmart cannot handle it quite well, and that's why I think Can't See in the Dark managed to win with so much of a point difference.
Yeah, the brawl from the side of, I believe it was from You Can't See in the Dark, really was putting out a lot of pressure from just trying to keep them back. You know, like with their tent, they were able to keep them back and trying to keep them off. I mean, they did die a lot, but I mean, at the same time, with Brawler, that's kind of what you're supposed to do as a Brawler. You're supposed to die, you're supposed to get kills. So I mean, it's supposed to be that that one weapon that it can kill, but it can't really, you know, it can't really stay alive for that long. So
the tent or the regular Brawler?
A regular Brawler.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't stay alive for too long, but we don't see how many times Keen got splattered. But still, I do believe that Keen always had someone or just a good position in order to prolong his life in the map by positioning himself on very strategic points, like underneath the top right side, and when we saw the bomb rush being used to control the zone when they barely managed to get the KO a little bit earlier.
Yeah, in fact, right now we'll be loading into our game 2 of the set. Some interesting picks. Actually, looks like there won't be that much of a change. I believe Psycho was able to switch off to a bamboo, though. And yeah, not really that many roster changes. I do believe we are seeing a Zep being pulled out, but other than that, that's not really anything else we've seen. Currently, that's actually going to be somewhat of a trade for both teams, and you can't see Dark is able to pull off the first cap and able to get a good early lead of 81.
Yeah, with Jimmy right here holding the control underneath the right fan, it is gonna be. But for trying to survive the Inkjet and the Sorrel Umbrella right here is gonna be a pain. But it's just now the Sorrel Umbrella jumping out, and the zone is safely in control of Walmart Radiance right now. With the Bamboo, Gal, Rapid Blaster, and Junior, they are now pushing in quite aggressive. Something they didn't manage to do quite perfectly on Starfish. Jimmy falling back right here to get. Probably watching the flank on the zone, which someone is from Considera, is the Junior popping the ends up, but it just gets shredded by the teamwork with everyone watching the flank.
Yeah, currently, though, Jimmy is currently just staying back and just trying to hold back in the mid, just kind of like slipping all over the place, trying to survive. Which I mean, for a Gal, that's really something that you don't see being pulled out that often. Which I mean, as I read for a second, it looks like Shadow's actually been able to take a pick over here with the Ultra Stamp just by throwing it, which is a really hard task to do, especially in this kind of level of play. But I mean, Shadow was able to just come out in that 1 second and just get that kill with that Ultra Stamp throw.
Shadow here trying to survive, everyone trying to hold his own and gaining the leads. Using the shield right here was quite brilliant. I was just like, if I were a player from Walmart Radius, I would be like, just throw a bomb, just throw a bomb, just throw a bomb. It would be funny, it would be funny, it would be funny. He did again the hammer, but this time he didn't get any picks. Getting to 38 points definitely was pretty interesting, but control will go back to Walmart Radiance.
Yes, currently we're sitting at a 3v3 right now. Things are not looking good for Walmart Radiance at all. You Can't See in the Dark is really keeping them back, as only Jimmy's up from the side of Walmart Radiance, which I mean, only having one person up is not a good thing to have at all. I mean, you only have one person up in Splatoon, which is literally a team game against 4. So unless they can randomly pop a bomb, get 2 people, and then get the other 2 people with their main, then chances are that's not really a good standing you want to be sitting at right there. 4v3 though, currently they will be popping in armor. Currently sitting at a 3v3, make that 2 down, or 2v2, and that will be another knockout from You Can't See in the Dark. Meaning that for this best of 5 set, they're only 1 win away from taking the set.
That's quite right. And I would like to point out one thing while I was watching the plays. The Nautilus and the I believe was the NZAP were the ones holding the zone on the back, while Keen and Shadow were the Brellas on underneath the arcade on the base, just trying to push away the enemy so they could Walmart, so they couldn't get control back the zone at the last 38 points when they got the lead. And I do believe that if they were into a position where they were bound to just lose the zone, Kim would come back and just use the bomb rush to either get control of the zone back without losing penalty, or just use the bomb rush so they would still have control of the arcade and leading to even more and more points for You Can't See. And the Nautilus was the one playing more midline. It wasn't playing that much of aggression that might, don't you think, Man Kid?
Yeah, I mean, just something else that you have to take into consideration for that last game is that for Anchovy, it's not really that easy to get back into the zone or get back into mid to try and do a counter push, but which I mean, things will not really get that much easier on Surgeon because you can easily get locked out on this map, and that's gonna be really hard for you. But moving on from that, we actually will not be seeing that much of a change from Walmart Radiance. I believe, yeah, we won't. And then for You Can't See in the Dark, I believe, yeah, that's a switch in intent. It's the now Sorrel Umbrella from the camo tint from last game. But yeah, one up from the side of Walmart Radiance right now. Now one up from the side of You Can't See in the Dark. Sitting at 90, just getting a good opening push for this game 3.
And the bomb rush, like 2 bomb rushes now, is just like more and more paint on the underneath for You Can See. Getting 2 important picks right here with 60 points on the clock means that basically this game will definitely go to 30 before they even get close to losing the zone. What a play with against the Rapid right here, trying to survive the baller, opening the shield and knowing how to use your weapon. Gal right here trying to use the wall, but unfortunately you're gonna have to pop the Booyah bomb to survive. It doesn't matter, it gets popped with this Terraria, but it's just the Rapid and the Junior, and the Tent has control of the high ground. One down, it's just the Rabbit trying to get control of the zone. If a Blaster manages to keep the zone, I will have even more and more respect, but for the Blaster, it will have to back off. 25 points remaining on the clock. It doesn't look good for Walmart Radiance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at all. It looks like that baller will actually be stretched from Token, and King will be falling down. Two out from the side of Walmart Radiance, and that'll actually be a knockout, meaning that You Can't See in the Dark will be taking this set 3-0.
Wow, like that indeed was so fast. I honestly I don't feel right saying it, but I think Walmart fed to the tent. Like the tent was just like having fun at the base, and I don't know if it, like actually no, I'm gonna say it a different way. The tent knew how to play the tent so well that game, and it just managed to get so many kills at that point, having fun at the base.
Yeah, that tent really was just keeping them pinned down in their base, and it's not. It doesn't help Walmart Radiance at all. That it was Sturgeon Shipyard. I mean, for Sturgeon, it's really hard to push up. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of places where if they have a good range or even just a normal scope, that they will just just snipe everyone that they can, or just whatever they can to just keep you pushed back in your base, which is not good for, first of all, splat zones, second of all, just the game in general. So that was a very tough map mode combination, but they were able to, You Can't See in the Dark was able to play it right and was able to knock it out.
Indeed. And speaking of knocking out, looking at the other bracket, we also have the winners of the other seed. Terraria Warlords beat Nawal Gaming with also a similar score of 3-0. So we're gonna see Nawal and Walmart for the third place match, and Terraria versus Can't See for the first and title of Testing Grounds number 15.
Welcome back to Testing Grounds 15. We're back from our break, and we are now going to be entering grand finals of said Testing Grounds 15. Once again, I am Bandkid, and in the booth with me tonight, once again, is Fern. We're really excited to be seeing what will be happening in this grand final set, as we did just see You Can't See the Dark will be advancing with Terraria Warlords, which also went 3-0 in their set. So it'll be a really interesting set considering that they both win 3-0 in their semifinals matches. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this set will end. If this will end in like a 4-0 and whoever's
So
side
there's the champion.
be like 4-3 or something.
Oh, having a look at these maps, I'm having quite nice vibes. This is literally a chill best of 7. We have Muscle Force, Skipper, Piranha, Starfish, Black Belly, Reef, and Anchovy.
Although I will say, one of the little more weird maps is someone's Black Belly. I mean, that's not really I mean, it's definitely a good stage, but you don't really see it being pulled out that much. So seeing what teams will be able to come up against in this setting will be really interesting to see what will be happening. But enough of that. We will be moving on to Splatoon's Muscle Forge Fitness. We will be seeing not being pulled out from the side of You Can't See in the Dark along with their classic tent. And then we also have actually, interesting enough, we have Bamboo being pulled out by Terraria Warlords, and they have a Refund Punisher, which isn't really something you see being pulled out on Bamboo a lot. I mean, it's definitely a charger ability, that's for sure. But for Bamboo, you don't really see it being used a lot, so that's going to be really interesting to see how if it works in our favor or not.
I would say if you want to run Respawn Punisher Bamboo, you have to be pretty confident about you splatting people. And with the Bamboo jumping out right here, it was actually the best option. You having saved a little bit of special. You Can't See in the Dark right here, having now the control of the lead. The tent right now having just eaten the hammer, the armor is just popping in. They are pretty aggressive in the zone. The map is there so far. It's just a matter of how are they gonna deal with the offensive of Terraria Wars. With missiles coming in from the Bamboo, the splash from them already came out, but the zone didn't change in leadership so far.
The tent from the side of You See in the Dark is going to be holding in mid like how they were last game, and they're just going to be in the last set, and they actually be able to cancel that bomb with their tent. And right now they're just doing what they were, and they're just putting mines on the zone, trying to back up, try and pin up from the other team, and it looks like that will actually help them out too much, as the other team will be neutralizing the zone. 2 down from the side of You Can't See in the Dark. Terraria Warlords may be able to use this time to try and push up and get some points on the board, which they are able to cap it and get rid of their penalty.
Yeah, I understood. Okay, so I kind of understood the idea that You Can't See in the Dark with the tent going for the hammer and getting the splash. It was, okay, I'm going to try painting the zone, canceling the bomb rush that the splash is throwing in it. But the fortunate is that because if you're going in against 3 people in the zone, trying to paint the zone with your hammer, you're not gonna survive because they actually can splat you quite easily. The thing is that the idea was there, but just not the right thing to do in my opinion, because you were gonna get splatted and get the zone later painted, and you lost a special, the tent.
Yeah, right now we will be seeing Boy from the side of Terraria Warlords is going to be pulling out the position that the was pulling out a few minutes ago, and even though they are You Can't See in the Dark, will be pulling out be able to take out that zone in their favor and knock out a penalty for Terraria Warlords. They are able to take it back, and it's You Can't See in the Dark is just going to take it back right there. Currently sitting at a 3v3, supposedly 2 people traded just then, so currently things are looking pretty even. As soon as I say that, Commentators curse, 1 falls down from the side of Terraria Warlord. So right now You Can't See in the Dark really has to just try and play it safe and just try and make sure that they don't get any more progress on their board, and just trying to give it like how it is right now.
Armor coming in quite clutch. New Splash managed to throw a little bit of a suction bomb rush, but unfortunately had to back off on the trench, and also trying to survive this 10. It gets the pick quite nicely, but unfortunately.
Currently, Void from the side of Terra Warlords is was able to take out. I believe that was the junior from the side of You Can't See in the Dark. It looks like Maul with their Gal is going to be able to paint the zone. Paint the zone here with their bomb. They're charging right now, and they are able to shut it off. One down from the side of You Can't See in the Dark right now. Three down. Actually, never mind. That's a delayed wipe on You Can't See in the Dark. Terra Warlords is able to take out that lead and knocking it down and potentially even getting a knockout within the next few seconds. We're seeing 10 left on the board, 3, 2, 1, and that will be game. Meaning that Terra Warlords is able to come back and take the first game in this best of 7 grand finals. That was a really that match was definitely a it was a match that you really don't see too often, especially because of the comeback. You know, comebacks they're a one-time thing. You don't really see them coming off. They're really just really rare, especially in this kind of high level play. Teams really just like play it safe. They know what they're doing, especially because it's, you know, high level play. But yeah, currently we will be moving on to a game 2, which is going to be Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion. I would like to see that Bamboo being pulled out again. Bamboo is a really solid choice here. So yeah.
Sorry, Bankit. I think my PC just decided to die because of the respawn punisher on the bamboo. I got a little bit scared.
That respawn punisher Bamboo really.
And if you'll excuse me, but I couldn't see anything in the dark of my PC. But now here I am. I'm back. So who won? Who won the second match? Who won the first match?
Warlords take it back in a comeback, and they
come back.
knock it out.
That's nice. That's nice. Interesting, and we're going for the skipper zones right here.
Yeah, that Bamboo, like I was talking about a few minutes ago, it's going to be really interesting to see. Bamboo is a really good choice, in my opinion, on this map, because Bamboo, you can easily reach the other side of the base if you're sitting on mid. You can just, like, you know, pew and they're dead. The tent is probably going to be a staple that we'll be seeing from this set, and you know, they also have the K-Gal, which is they have bomb, and it paints really well after that patch that happened a few months ago. So yeah, what else would you like to that you think would be coming back, or what would you like to see in this match?
So I do like the fire theme, but I don't think many teams are going to change their comps at this moment. I still think we're going to see a best of the so far what I've seen, but mostly the tents. That's going to be the.
All right, we will be seeing Shadow being able to pull out their tent, their Scarlet tent, which isn't a pick you see often. It's always either the V tent or the camo tent, which, I mean, the Scarlet tent is definitely underrated. I mean, the build may be a little weird, but I mean, it's definitely still a solid choice. 3 down from the side of Terra Warlords right now, though, and that will be 1 down from the side of You Can't See in the Dark. I believe that is Nike jumping back with the nod. Yeah, K-Shot from the side of You Can't See in the Dark will be able to take out Void, and is going to try to take the zone here, but will feel as Maul is able to take a pick on them.
It's interesting to see that the squeezer pulling out with the bubbles, and I do agree with you with the tent being an under choice of a weapon, especially the one with the bomb rush, because like the other ones with the hammer and bubbles, they apply a little bit more pressure, and you have the beacon to work with. This one has basically 2 walls you can have by spending a lot of ink saver of ink of your tank.
Yeah, that splash wall, and then also your tent really take out a lot of your ink tank. So it's not really that advised to do, but at the same time, you know, it's possible if you pull it off at the right time. And I at the right moment. But we will be seeing Leafy pulling out their jet right here, trying to keep the other team at bay. They are take out Mob, but Ricky will be able to take them out and cancel that jet.
Taking that Gal definitely was very important right now. Gal being one of the better weapons on the meta currently, it does outperform many of the weapons, so it will buy them a little bit of time. But unfortunately, the squeezer right here with a beautiful bubble combo, taking control, getting like a 4 spot streak just in front of our eyes was amazing to see, and taking control of the zone, applying a 58 points affinity was brilliantly executed. Kudos to Terraria right now, getting control of the zone.
Yeah, for sure. We actually Mob with their K-Gal, one of the best weapons in the game right now, will actually be able to take out 2 from the side of You Can't See in the Dark. It is knocking down that timer, and it looks like they may be able to take out that lead just now. What they do currently, and not even anything touching the zone right now. They're sitting at 10. It looks like this will be like last game. They got a pan, and then that'll basically be a knockout 3-2-1, and that will be a knockout in game 2. So 2 knockouts in a row, which, I mean, considering that's what happened until You Can't See in the Dark, right now they're gonna need a little bit of karma.
Karma is the but I cannot say that on the stream, only on mine because it's a plus 18 place. It is interesting to see, because like I'm not seeing that much of a difference between both teams. I do think they're playing quite well. It is a matter of like how well can you survive the enemy push. We saw that just the Gal in the zone was able to keep everyone from You Can't See in the Dark away from the zone. But before that, we were seeing them putting Terraria away on their side of the spawn by just applying special after special and good play. It's just a good set of games, to be fair.
Yeah, and going back to that Gal right now was the thing that was holding Terra Warlords. They were holding them off a lot, even with their limited range. Because even though they had that limited range, something that happened, people found out after the patch, is that if you walk in a straight line from side to side, it'll actually paint more. It'll actually paint the same, if not more, than a junior. So painting a zone with a K-Gal is definitely a good strategy to pull off with this one, but it's going to be harder to pull off on spot zones Prawn Pit with their double zones. What would you like to be seeing put off for this game? I personally would like to be seeing the tent being come out, because you can just pull up that tent from your court and then you just let it glide through the zones.
Which tent specifically? I think I would just go for the hammer one here.
The hammer would be a good one, but also the Sorella would be a good choice here, and I believe that is actually going to be the Sorella. That'll actually be the camo. So yeah, you will be seeing that hammer, but I believe that is actually going to be the same. The same comes from last game, if I'm not wrong.
No, there is no Nautilus, and there's a junior coming in right now. It's the second match they're using armor here, trying to survive the enemy's armor as well, because it is helpful against bubbles, but unfortunately it is going to be kind of a delay wipe with just the tent respawning, and Terraria has the control of both zones already.
That'll actually be a delayed wipe that we saw a few minutes ago from the side of You Can't See in the Dark, which pulling off even a delayed wipe at that point in time on zones is definitely something that you want to have. I mean, if you pull off that kind of kind of push, that's that's good for you. I mean, you're able to pull that off, just like that, which will give you some good help later on in the match, especially with that little boost that you'll get from your teammate from the opponents respawning. But looks like well, I'm saying that You Can't See in the Dark was able to take the zone and give Terraria Warlords a little bit of a penalty, but that will not affect them at all, as they did they did just get rid of their penalty just then, and now they're only halfway done until they're knocked out.
I was feeling a little bit sad for the K-Shot, because the K-Shot trying to get both zones. It was a good effort, but then out of nowhere we saw the K shot stuck in between so much orange ink, and it was like there was nothing they could do. And then once again they just lose the control of the zone. Nautilus right here with the 2v1 trying to get the pick on the bamboo with still, I believe, respawn Punisher. They do get the control of the zone, applying a 45 points ultimate advantage, but can they survive the Booyah Bomb? And the Nautilus does not survive the trade, and will just be the NZAP surviving, paying even more and more, trying to fight it. But it does lose a fight to the tent, meaning that the control of the game, it seems to be shifting towards a little bit of, you can see on the dark, and now the bamboo will have to back off while trying to fight every one of the armor from you can see in the dark.
Yeah, right now, Void from the side of Terraria Warlords is kind of in a tough spot. I mean, forget what I was just going to say, actually. They were able to take zone here with 3 down from the side of You Can't See the Dark. Terraria Warlords is able to just come in like that and just be like, hey, we're actually going to be taking that zone again. Right now, they are sitting at under 20 points for their penalty. A bit more than 30 points after that, and that will be a knockout. So right now, You Can't See in the Dark really has to try their best to try and paint, you know, and stuff for their to try and get
control of the game.
Yeah.
With the hammer being popped right now, trying to get the pick on the 2 remaining, I believe it was either the NZAP and the bamboo alive, but unfortunately, I think the hammer was alone and was easily picked by the by Terraria once again. I'm seeing that the coordination of special is just a little bit off, and the tent when pops in up hammer is just getting to a position that no one can actually support. With the 52 right now, just shocking position, it's just basically trying to get anyone that's gonna drop, getting the tent that it was not aware, popping armor, managing to get the shredded of the armor of the Nautilus, but it doesn't matter. It's just a little bit more points. The Nautilus does go down to the bamboo right here with the respawn Punisher. That inkjet is not coming out anytime more soon. The penalty has not been applied to Terraria Wars, so You Can't See there has still a chance, but I don't think that's going to be it, and Terraria will be getting control of both zones, and it's just less than 15 seconds remaining on the clock for them to win the match.
Yeah, we'll actually be seeing Void pulling out their missiles, and just in something that was that Terraria Warlords was actually able to take off for a good while there, is they were actually able to get through their penalty and get some more points off after that. For a long while, they were able to get their penalty right, and they were able to knock it down a lot. But then You Can't See in the Dark was able to just come out of nowhere and just take it back and give them more penalty. But as I'm saying that, you know, they will be able to take back the zone, which gives them even more penalty. So currently, right now, they are sitting at 14 and 12. Currently, 3 and 3, and as I'm saying that, they moved to a 33 point penalty.
Oh, I feel bad for the junior. The junior was trying to swim up a little bit, but he got in front of the wall, swim backwards, and hits the wall, gets 50 damage, and just easily gets picked by the squeezer. You Can't See in the Dark right here. I'm seeing that they're trying their best, but the thing is that after 2 hammers failed to trying to get both zones and just getting into a 3v1, it seems that this time for this match for sure Terraria will win the third one after just getting one more push. With the armor coming in hand, it's just a 10th once again, 2 seconds remaining on the clock, and that's gonna be GG's and 3-0 for Terraria.
I would like to congratulate Terraria Warlords, Tristan. They were able to pull out some pretty good coordination in that game. From what we could just see everyone was able to just cover up something that You Can't See in the Dark wasn't able to see, and no matter what, they couldn't find a little choke place for them to try and pierce through and trying to at least neutralize the zones. But that'll be even a bit easier for Terraria Warlords, as we will be returning back to Splatoon Starfish for this game 4, meaning that You Can't See in the Dark is gonna have to be able to take these 4 games if they want to take home the gold.
Yeah, and we just came from watching You Can't See in the Dark playing on the semifinals. They won Starfish, and they played pretty well their gameplay, putting the enemy team at the base, managing to take control of the zone. I do think that this is in fact the match I wanted to see, because like it's basically like you saw a team win on this against another team. Will they try to pull out the same thing against the next team, and will they succeed or not? That's what I'm most excited to see. I most likely don't care the weapons. I just want to see them play in general this match against Terraria Warlords.
Yeah, I mean, something else that you do want to keep in mind though is that yes, you can't see in the dark. They did a great last time that we saw them on this map. But you also gotta keep in mind, first of all, that was a different team. Second of all, Terra Rollers also went 3-0 in that set. I mean, given they could have just came out with a comeback. So for all we know, they could have just won in overtime, just barely. But for you can't see in the dark, you know, they definitely have a chance of just coming back and taking this set. But right now we will actually be seeing, I believe that's same comps-ish.
Junior is now the bucket, the Tri-Slosher with armor.
Oh yeah, true. And then I believe I don't think we saw Umbrella last game too, so that's
no, we didn't see two Umbrellas. We only saw one. You're right.
Yeah, but currently Leafy is able to pull off a quick armor with a try, which is pretty impressive for a try. You know, I mean, they were able to just come out right there with a earlier armor. I mean, really, you only see juniors pulling out with that crap. But I mean, you know, Leafy was able to just come over here and get that in like however many seconds junior gets, like 9 seconds or whatever. So I mean, that was a really good I guess motivator for you can't see in the dark for this first part. But looks like that won't be able to help them much later on after that, as they're now knocking it down to almost 40, which means they are so close to they're already halfway done with their progress.
Right here, right now, I just saw the moment that the moment that you can see in the dark popped armor with the Tri-Slosher, Terraria was already standing still, waiting for the bomb rush, not the bomb rush, the bubbles from the squeeze. Like they played quite nicely, waiting and patiently, and that was amazing to see. And with that, we actually just see Can't See in the Dark getting just one person remaining from Terraria to wipe down, but now getting control of the map, painting as much as you can, charging that next armor so they can survive the next push. 74 points already down on the clock, getting closer and closer to 22. It seems that right now you can see that has the advantage to survive many points and survive at least one push from Terraria.
Yeah, that is actually going to be one responding from the side of Terra Roller. So right now, they gotta try and push in and try and push in as a unit, because if they start going in one by one, then you can't see in the dark. It's just gonna start start getting fed by the other teams. But I mean, right then they were able to do what I was just saying, and they were able to move in as a unit and able to save their lead.
7 points remain on that lead. That is indeed pretty dangerous. However, they managed to put 70 points on the clock. If Terraria loses the zone to Can't See in the Dark, they might be able to get the lead on the second push for sure, if they don't lose even more points of a difference in lead with this Terraria controlling the zone right here. So it's up to Can't See in the Dark to manage to push him back in the zone.
Yeah, currently Terra Warlords is able to get rid of their penalty right there, and they were able to knock it down to 16. The zone got neutralized for a second, but they were able to take it 10, 9, 8, 7. 2 down from the side of you can't see in the dark right now. 3, 2, 1, and that will be the set, and that will be the tournament right there. Terra Warlords will be your champions of Testing Grounds 15 Splat Zones edition, because it was all Splat Zones. So yeah, that was a good set, even though that I believe all the games came into, except for one, all games except for a last game came into a knockout. You obviously could see that You Can't See in the Dark was trying their best to try and save the game, especially in that last game. They were so close to taking that lead, but at the end, Terra Rollers was able to take it in a knockout.
I would like to shout out to Shadow, because on the last minutes when they were just when Terraria was just winning, I managed to see Shadow hitting the hammer and getting a beautiful pick on the bamboo, and I do think that deserves a shout out, because like as you said, using the hammer and throw it is pretty hard, but once you hit someone, it is goddamn worth of a splat.
Oh, it really is. It's definitely something that you just like leave and you're like, that's getting posted to Twitter later.
Yeah. I feel like not gonna be posted on Twitter because how do you actually cap it? Lost, but got a hammer kill. It's like when you see when I was watching the World Cup and saw Brazil lose to Germany at 7-1. You scored a goal, but you don't want to say you score a goal in Germany because then people are gonna have to watch the game.
People are gonna have to watch the game, You're gonna have to see that. Like, oh.
But congratulations to Terraria. You well deserve the the first place on the 15th edition of Testing Grounds. Round of applause for you. You guys played pretty well. I salute you all.
Yeah, great job to them. And then again, a great job to You Can't See in the Dark for also getting second. Because even though you couldn't get first, second's still something that you can always brag about, But yeah, that will actually be the end for us, obviously, because that's the end of the tournament. So, Fern, is there anything you would like to plug here, where the people watching this can find you online?
Yeah, they can find me on Twitter at SwitchSuperFern013 or at Twitch. Same thing. I think I did link both of them. But yeah, I stream occasionally Luau stuff, but that's about it. What about you to finish it up, Ben Kid? Do you have anything else to say?
You can find me over at Twitter at band_kid_. That's really it for now, but yeah, that should be it. So yeah, thanks to everyone who played tonight, thanks to everyone who watched, thanks to everyone who just supports IPL in general. But yeah, we will see you all actually tomorrow for Low Ink. So
hope to see you all there. Bye bye.